Recording in progress.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to 22 Panels and the Fourth World Book Club, where I try not to embarrass myself while talking about Jack Kirby with Mark Pracht and Sean Harklerode.
There is no embarrassment. There,
I mean,
there, there's
thank
nothing.
you.
I mean, as I do with all my friends, and Sean will tell you this, is like, I will always beat a joke to death. So, you know, uh,
Yeah, unfortunately, I promised that I was done with my joke at your expense at the end of last episode, so I will not bring it back up.
um, so
But,
here,
if Sean wanted to,
Sean,
he
Mr.
didn't
Funny
make any
Man.
promises.
Um, so yes, here we are. What is it?
In
Issue
the fourth world.
Issue four,
in
our our
fourth.
our our, our fifth month in the fourth world.
Mhm.
So that's like
Issues four of most things. Yeah.
And issue what is it of Jimmy Olsen?
39.
More. Yeah.
139. Where, and I'm going to tell you, this is the month where we meet the greatest Jack Kirby solo creation. Well, you can't say it's solo, I guess, but greatest Jack Kirby creation of all time. And I think we all know that I'm talking about. I can't do it. I can't do this joke.
I was about to say, if you're trying to sell anything other than
Goody
Good Barbara,
Rickles.
Goody
Goody
Rickles.
Rickles. This is this moment where you're just like, oh, DC editorial.
Although Goody Rickles does have great dialogue.
Yeah, he does. I mean, like,
He's
clearly
got Rickles dialogue.
yeah. I mean, not quite as biting as your Don Rickles.
No.
But I mean, he didn't refer to anybody as a hockey puck, which I thought was kind of a missed opportunity.
Right.
But man, like this is the height of just like I think there's nothing more indicative of what the moment in which these books came out than this character in this issue, because like it's like right. And I talked about this before, how I think that Jack operated in sort of a much more innocent sort of viewpoint than what comics was evolving into as the Bronze Age started, right? So, and this is just like this Goody Rickles thing, and we're gonna put Don Rickles in a comic book, and well, we did Bob Hope, we did Jerry Lewis comics. Let's, maybe we can do a Don Rickles comic, and it's just this moment where this Silver Age nonsense kind of crashes into the Bronze Age, and it makes to me it makes zero sense, really. I mean, I mean, like, the story wise, it makes some sense. Okay, all right. Morgan Edge wants Don Rickles on his show, but I was like, if this this doppelganger of Don Rickles shows up, and you're just like, what?
He works for
I
Galaxy
mean,
in some manner.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, I mean, like the idea that they were like, okay, well, we can't have Don Rickles put on a superhero suit and run around. And I'm like, you couldn't? It's just it cracks me up. The whole thing cracks me up.
Well, I will say this issue of Jimmy Olsen, I really enjoyed, and it felt to me like I was reading a Triangle era Superman story,
Mm,
as I love.
yeah.
So, um,
that is my favorite Superman era as well.
yeah.
I mean, look, I'm making fun of it. I like because it's just sort of a nutso idea, right? Like, and I can't. You have to wonder. You have to wonder what Jack thought. I mean, and I think there's nothing more indicative of the fact that of these books, right? That Jimmy Olsen is just sort of the book that he's doing for DC, right? He's putting elements of the fourth world into it, but you know, you can tell that this was the one where they were like, well, we'd really like you to be on one of our flagship characters. And he was like, which Superman book doesn't have a set team? But then you also get this stuff like, hey, we made a deal with Don Rickles to do comics. Can you just
Well,
put Don Rickles in there?
here is my question though. Jack was in LA and they were still in New York at the time. So did they make the deal or did he make the deal?
I don't think that Jack Kirby would have been making that deal.
I mean, not even in the book that he didn't want to be drawing.
I look, and I wouldn't say that he did. I wouldn't say that he didn't want to be drawing. I mean, like, I think
Right.
Jack was wanting to do whatever, however much work that he could to feed his family. I mean, that was the deal, right? But it's just, I don't think that you would have seen Goody Rickles or Don Rickles show up in Miracle Man or New Gods or Forever People, right? I think those were his books, and I think that this smacks of a corporate deal. It smacks of DC had the Jerry Lewis comic, it had the Bob Hope comic. It smacks of them saying, "Oh, could we do a Don Rickles comic?"
That's fair.
um, and the other thing is like this was like what 71, 72. Like if you were looking for a comedian to do a comic book about, it seems like there'd be people a little more
Well,
current
and
than
that
Don Rickles. Maybe
that
I've
was
got.
actually that was actually like part of my Jack theory is the possibility that they could have just like met and that it
That's
wasn't
why.
actually like totally a for hire thing as much as a you know
I don't.
Don
I could
Don
be.
Don bought dinner last night and made everybody laugh and
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, like I could be completely wrong. I could be completely
I
wrong.
have no idea.
Maybe
I am literally just riffing.
Maybe Jack met Don Rickles and said, "Hey, I could put you in one of my comics," and Don went, "That'd be great,
Right.
hockey puck." Um, uh, I can't do Don Rickles, but I can say hockey puck a lot. Um, but
Muck.
I don't know. It just strikes me as so strange.
It is incredibly strange, which is why I want a stranger story behind it than just DC decided to. I mean, yes, that's the most likely, but it feels like it deserves a stranger story.
Yeah.
I'm tired, Mark. I'm in autistic weird burnout land, so like feel free to just tell me to shut up and move on.
No, no.
But the fact that Intergang has a giant mobile home headquarters, yeah, that's news.
So I'm sorry, I'm reading a Vulture story about this, and
Oh, so there is an answer.
the Rickles pitch began not with Kirby, but with his young assistants, Mark Evanier and Steve Sherman.
Okay.
Evanier recalled the backstory at a 1997 panel at the San Diego Comic-Con. Steve and I, at the time, were enormous fans of Don Rickles. Like many people at the time who are our age, we all went around doing Don Rickles, insulting each other. Rickles used to say, "I never picked on a little guy. I only pick on big guys." Somehow, this gave us the idea that we should have Don Rickles make a cameo appearance in Jimmy Olsen to insult Superman. it was going to be like a 3-panel thing. So we wrote out a couple of pages of Don Rickles' insults. One of them was, "Hey, big boy, where are you from?" And Superman says, "I'm from the planet Krypton." And Rickles says, "I got jokes for 8 million nationalities. I got to run a hockey, and I got to run into a hockey puck from Krypton." Uh, so we took these out to Jack. Jack was a big fan of Rickles, and he says, "That's great. That's terrific." And of course, he's used none of it. He said, "We've got to get permission from Don Rickles for this." So Steve contacted Rickles' publicist, and they gave us permission to have Don Rickles do a cameo. Then Jack tells DC Comics publisher Carmine Infantino about it, and Infantino thinks this is great. This is something promotable. It's got to be a 2-issue story arc. So instead of us writing 2 pages, it was now Jack writing 2 issues. So, okay, you guys, I mean, like, it wasn't
So it's
necessarily,
like half and half.
well, like, apparently nobody knew Don Rickles. So, but, uh, but, yeah, but DC, like, they dreamed up doing a one pager thing, and then DC was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." Carmine, Carmine was like, "Yeah, we'll do this anyway." But no, I find it all so bizarre, and it's so weird, and it's so and it. I read this much earlier this week, so uh, with the other stuff I've been reading, I may have gotten, but it also felt to me like that whole Rickles thing was so kind of outside the rest of the story. Like they be doing the whole story with the Newsboy Legion and the Guardian and all of the revelations there, and then we cut back to Rickles at Galaxy Broadcasting, and I it's just it's so strange. And those little
That
glasses that Goody Rickles wears are really strange too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that I won't argue with.
and the thing about it is like the other thing about it is that Jack wasn't a half bad caricaturist.
Right.
Like it does actually look like Don Rickles. I mean,
And if it doesn't, it's because it's Goody Rick.
that's
You
right.
can't have them
That's
look
right.
exactly.
Well, and they keep talking about Don Rickles coming, so I'm sure like I can't remember now, but the next issue I'm sure we have Don meet Goody. What a weird
Sounds
name.
about right.
Goody. Goody Rickles.
And I mean, I think I haven't read this, but I feel like the success of these books directly led to the creation of CPO Sharky.
Yeah.
Which I have the complete set on DVD. If
Oh,
anyone
Jesus.
wants to borrow the complete CPO Sharky, I have that.
Sounds good.
Tad's like, I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
I'm lost now. That's okay.
That was Rickles' sitcom in the 70s.
Yep.
See, and this is going to be
Petty
terrible.
Officer Sharky.
Terrible, terrible, terrible talking to a couple of actors who are way more versed in historic comedy, television, film, blah 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 than
Well,
I
and
am.
also, to be
I
fair,
know
we're
that.
both like 10 years older than you are. So
I
Okay,
think it
that's
came
fair
on
too.
after What's Happening.
I
it did.
remember what's happening. But Don Rickles to me is more of a name than anything else. I didn't even know the hockey puck thing until like whenever the first time you did it.
Well, the he was the best insult comic that has ever lived, right?
And that I'm fairly aware of, but
But I mean, and
that's the
like,
other thing is insult comic is like my least favorite kind of comedy.
well, see, but you have to take like his whole act was that he would do these insults, and at the end he would do this really lovely thing where he would, he'd be like, "We're just here to have a good time." And that I try to hit everyone equally, and that I love all of you, and God bless you all, and blah blah blah. And like there was never any pretense of it not being an act, you know?
Right.
And
Which would probably make me like it more.
and honestly, the man's timing was impeccable to the very end. Because I saw
Right.
like there was there I went down a rabbit hole on Rickles not long ago, and I was watching like a
So like
tribute.
4 days ago while you were reading Jimmy
No, no, no,
Olsen.
no, 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 no. This was weeks ago. Weeks ago, long before I remembered that this was coming. Um, but
Okay.
but yeah, no, it's just like, and Sean can probably talk about it. The man's timing was impeccable. And this is what started it, is that I saw this mini documentary that was about the fact that Don Rickles and Bob Newhart were best friends for life.
Yeah.
Like they
Right.
were, and that it couldn't be too different comedic tone, you know. Uh, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Like honestly, most of the rest of this issue I can't even really remember. Uh,
It's a
maybe
that's I almost include the Rickles part to that.
I I guess I'm the uh, exception. I really enjoyed this book. I even the Morgan Edge um stuff and the Newsboys with Scrapper.
I mean, I did think it was kind of fun that the Newsboys wound up being left behind.
Right.
Oh no,
Um,
I don't want to say that I hated it or anything. I'm just saying that it was a breezy read. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I enjoy the Goody Rickles stuff. I actually really think that the Guardian is kind of an interesting concept, that now that
yeah,
we know he's and this is what I remember, now that we know he's a clone of the original,
Right.
all of that stuff is really interesting, but it also was sort of just like, okay, I breezed right through it, and it didn't hit, it didn't strike me as much as the three other books this month.
And they've got pyrogranulate
I don't,
inside them, just waiting to catch fire. And that's the cliffhanger.
yep.
After they get thrown out of the mobile home
Yeah,
Kinder
like
Gang headquarters.
the wonderful thing, the most wonderful thing about this book really is that it's so like Silver Age, you know, and unpretentiously so. Not, like a lot of time, I think sometimes when Grant Morrison goes into his like, I'm gonna write this like it's the Silver Age, sometimes it gets a little, yeah, okay, all right, all right. Um, but and I think that this more than anything is probably Jack's outlet for to really just let that be. I mean, it feels like a kid's book. It feels like a book that
Yeah.
anybody could pick up and read. Um, but yeah, anyway, some 10-year-old picked it up and like, who's Don Rickles? Anyway, will the real Don Rickles panic? What a
these did have all four of them had particularly wordy and fun covers. That I
Oh
will
yeah.
give them. I will totally give them that. I mean, I'll give them other things too, but I noticed that was one of the themes this time is like lots of interesting things on the cover.
which is
Well,
which is a Tad pet peeve or something Tad likes. I can't remember.
Um, it, it's it can go either way. I don't like it when it feels like it's just there to be there. Um, these actually like brought more chuckles to me. Um, that than they that than often. Particularly the Rickles, the Forever People, and the well, no, all of them.
Well, it strikes me as like, a lot of people have talked about how um there would be mandates of like well, Stan Lee talks about this a lot, where he would hear that DC in the editorial board would be like, oh, they put a lot of words on the covers. We should do a lot of words on the covers. And then
Right.
as soon as Stan heard that, he would like take all the words off the cover, all the captions and stuff. And it's funny, all four of them very wordy covers. It strikes me as that might have been somebody from editorial going like, you know what, Jack,
But
let's put some more blurbage.
and I believe that even more because of the specific words. I think whoever was putting the words on the cover was making fun of having words on the cover. I mean, seriously, big bonus, big surprise, big
Yeah.
Barta. I mean, first of all, it's not a surprise if you're going to announce it. Second of all, if there was one thing that actually struck me as somewhat incongruous with that issue, given how issue 3 ended, it's that we lead off with Barta rather than leading off with Scott in peril. So I almost wonder if they literally rearranged the pages.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's so hard. Like, look,
I mean, it could work either way. So that may just be a happy accident, but like the text itself, the Orion's mob and the Deep Six, and
oh
and
yeah.
now that we've invaded Intergang, how do we get out alive? Find out the hiding place of evil gods. Orion plays the game of evil men. I mean, they are so fucking with whoever
Sure.
told them more text.
Well, I mean, like I think that it's so, you know,
Alienation turns a happy place into hell. Read Kingdom of the Damned.
Happy
Meet
Land.
Desaad, who knows he is and loves it.
you know, I don't know. There's actually
I
like
mean, hell,
this
even the
this
bigger and better.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you're talking about the bigger and better, uh the circle. I think
Yeah.
that was they probably took it off for the reprints that we have. I
Yeah.
think that was a pricing. I think that they had actually increased
It's
price
entirely possible.
and probably pages.
Right.
Um, but in any like uh, I think this is an extra like I do think that this particular month is really extraordinary. I think that we have a lot of interesting things going on. Like Goody Rickles, for all I'm mocking it, is a fun thing. Uh, Happy Land is in the grand tradition of people mocking the Disney organization, and as much as I have so many mixed feelings about Disney, but I love the parks. I love the parks. I always have. But man, I also I'm like on point. Got it. Totally right. Um, the New Gods issue uh, is solid stuff. I loved that after we're introduced to the Black Racer, and now we finally get to see him doing what he's supposed to do, um, as the Angel of Death, essentially. We have the death of a new god that it would be nice if we'd known who that guy was before it happened, but whatever. And then, Orion sets up this whole game of having a mob thing that like doesn't involve him at all. Like
Right.
it's just like he sends out his little guy, his little human puppets to and then he just comes in. And then of course, yeah, Big Barda, which is for all my joking, is probably the greatest creation of Jack on his own.
Yeah.
And then, and that story.
Whoever decided to put her in a costume should be horsewhipped,
Okay.
in the words of Oberon.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I also love how they talk about how she's wearing the uniform of Apocalypse, but no one else wears that outfit.
Right.
No one else. I like, okay. But
Well, nobody else is her rank.
I mean, that really, to me, I don't know if you've seen, was it Santa Cruz, University of Santa Cruz or Santa Clara that Jack designed the costumes for Julius Caesar?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's what
Yeah.
this reminds me of.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, again, to what you were talking about the Mr. Miracle book and how like we leave off with this cliffhanger and then we suddenly go to Barda. Um, you know, and this is not a criticism of Jack, but I mean, it's something that everybody has talked about is like he didn't really have a linear mind, right? It was just sort of whatever happened, right? So it seems like from what I have heard from people who knew him, it might be entirely possible that he started drawing that issue and totally forgot how he had left Scott.
Well, no, look, to me, to me, this makes sense because we haven't
Sure.
met Big Barda yet.
Sure. No. Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense to, meanwhile, back at the ranch, Oberon
Right.
is, meets this crazy woman. And oh my God, she realizes she can save Mr. Miracle. Otherwise, now it could have still worked if we had never met Big Barda and she catches him and
Right.
how we meet her.
Right.
But no, this makes sense to me
Oh
that
no, I'm not saying
introduce her before she just comes out of, it's a little less Deus Ex Machina.
I,
Um,
I'm not saying that it doesn't work because I do think it works. I'm just saying that what we know of Jack, where he would just be like, okay, I'm starting, you know, that he might have been like, uh, just started drawing and then got a few page into it, and maybe Mark or Steve were like, hey, Jack, remember you had Scott falling through the building? He's like, oh yeah, okay, hold on. And then, put it back together, in editing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's not, I'm not saying that it doesn't work because it does work.
No, it does work.
Well,
I was really expecting the splash page to be
him falling.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the standard way you would want to do that is if you like, and this is part of the I'm gonna say mad genius of Jack Kirby, right? Is that like the standard way you would want to do that is you would do the splash page with uh Scott falling.
which is a magnificent splash page, by the way.
Yes. And then put a meanwhile and then go to Barda arriving. You
Right.
know, just that every comic is somebody's first comic, right? So you would want to like establish the crisis before you know. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
I guess another reason why I wonder if if it was originally that way is that like all the titles are on the other splash page.
Mm,
Yeah.
It's actually set up the way the normal front splash page would be.
Look, this
mhm.
is written, drawn, and edited by Jack because what I was going to
Right.
say before I caught that was that maybe, you know, someone at editorial was like, we need to see her first. And
Okay.
Right,
these 3 pages were added.
right.
Okay.
Uh,
Or
or Jack realized that after, like you said, like he's
or Jack realized it, or it's the bigger and better thing.
Right.
If and I haven't been counting pages, but if they did increase the size of the books for like a
This
22.
is 20, yeah, 22 pages and let's take a
uh
quick look.
20, yeah, they're the same. So
Yeah.
that's not that's just market speak. But like I do think that
They they made the page itself an eighth of an inch wider.
um but I mean, like I think that also it's also sort of like, editing a movie, right? You can change things into any way you want,
Right.
right? But uh I think this splash page with Barda is classic with Oberon like, I don't know. Let's just tell it.
Right.
And here's this ginormous woman. And then she smacks the shit out of him, which is great. I just love
The
it.
Mega Run. Some are equipped with the boom tube. We have the
The
Mega Run,
Mega Rod.
which I
Yeah.
don't want to touch.
Hey man, Jack liked big girls.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I like everything about this is so much fun. And the thing about it is like it does like it's such comic book logic. Like you really do feel, and we've talked about this before, it's like jazz, right? Because like, he's getting through there and then it's like, oh yeah, there's a movie studio in the building. Is that in this?
Yes.
And it's like, what?
Very convenient.
Which has my pick for out of context panel of the week. The director. Ah, he's perfect for the part. He'll die with superb realism.
Yes.
And Mr. Miracle's thought, a paranoid director and actors. How bad can things get? That's that's the panel I need.
Well, we all know that. But yeah, no, like it I just yeah, it's like what are they in 30 Rockefeller Center or something?
Yeah.
uh
Clearly.
and and all of the props are actually deadly torture devices. They're not props. Yeah.
I going
I
back.
mean, they were on a budget. It was easier to find the warehouse of real deadly torture devices than to hire a prop master.
I, I
God,
wonder,
I thought you understood theater.
uh, looking at this and just going forward the next few issues, looks like Jack's developed a two splash page um,
Yeah.
sort of convention where
Okay.
there's a splash page and then two more pages and then another splash page. And that feels to me like he's aping the teaser before
Yeah.
the credits
Yeah.
of a
Yeah.
television show.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
Yeah,
think
he's
that
he's watching he's starting to watch
Star
Columbo.
Trek. Yeah,
Star
or
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's like the teaser before the episode starts.
um yeah, I mean the one thing we don't have here is the double page spread that he has been using a lot the prior issues. Um,
Give him time. He'll
uh,
eventually realize that if he does all three of those things,
then he's got 4 pages drawing 3 images. Um,
right.
I did, like the one thing about this book that I think really brings one of the I think what I would call a missed opportunity of Mr. Miracle, right, is that he's a super escape artist. Got it. But he never really seem he doesn't really seem to have the skills of an escape artist. He just has this
A mother box.
he has a mother box or other new apocalypse or new Genesis technology that allows him to just, you know, get out of things. I mean, like the laser
Mhm.
beam that cuts through the box and he slides out. I'm like, okay, all right, got it. But like the same thing is used to break out the back of the oh, what is it? The hell is the name of that thing? The God, what the hell do they call that thing? My brain just stopped. Um,
What thing?
the
The Bloody Mary, the
the
Oh, the
the
Iron
Iron
Maiden.
Maiden, Iron
Iron
Maiden.
Maiden.
Wow,
Yeah.
See,
how you would forget the words Iron
Iron
Maiden
Maiden.
is beyond me.
I was alone. My mind was blank. Um, anyway, but I mean, like what we see later on is like the entire back of the Iron Maiden like disintegrates, but no one seems to notice that. I think, and it's a comic book. Like this is stuff that is it's nitpicky and it's not embracing the tone or the nature of these books, but it's also things that I sit there and I go, I would like to see it would be super cool to have somebody like Steranko do this who actually did these things and be like, okay, this is how you would do that instead of just pulling out the mother box and making something happen, I don't know if that's fair. That's not fair, um, but you know,
The
It's not fair, but it's true.
it's it's intact when Barta opens it. The Iron Maiden.
when she opens it,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's when we see him how he got out of it.
Oh.
He like disintegrated the whole back of the thing,
Right.
and then she opens it, and
Oh, okay. All right. Right. Yeah.
it's it it's a cheat, Sean. He's cheating. Jack is cheating. Um, but
Ever.
anyway, but whatever. It's
That doesn't sound like the Kirby I
well,
know.
quite honestly, let's also like again from what I've read about Jack, when he drew her opening the Iron Maiden, he may not have known how he was going to get
Oh yeah.
Scott out of it.
Oh yeah. But
So,
also Jack work facts. So let's be honest. He I don't know if I like to use the word cheat specifically, but there are definitely people who would say that he would use cheats because, it's easier to show him blowing the back out of it than to like do some complicated
Sure.
full full page 8 panel.
No, I mean, and it's 100, it's no different than, the movie serials in the 40s
Right.
where you would end the cliffhanger would be the car going over the cliff. And then when you came back the next week, you could the same angle, but you would see the guy get out of the car, and it's like, okay, like that's a cheat, but it works. Let's just go
Right.
roll with it. I mean, and
Right.
that is a lot of what you have to do with Jack is just roll with it. Um, but you know, the thing about it is, and it's funny as we're now 4 months, what, five? Now I guess we're five with the multiple, this is our fifth episode, right? So part of what is frustrating, when we started this, I always said that I thought that other people use these characters more interestingly than Jack did. Jack set up a lot of stuff, but yeah, like I reading these, I was like, this was actually a really, really good month for Jack. They were all
Hmm.
really solid books, but
Yeah.
I keep waiting for when are we going to move the ball down the field for this anti-life thing? They do a little bit in Forever People, you know, but not there's a lot of shucking and jiving going on. It's like, okay, yeah, all right, we'll talk about this. And like, we're looking for this one person that's going to have the answer to the anti-life equation that it lives on Earth. We don't know who it is. What is it? Um, and I do sit there and I go like, okay, what are you getting at, Jack? You know? And, um, and certainly that doesn't take away from them as reading experiences, which like I said, this month I dug all of them. Um,
I thought this was the best month so
yeah,
far.
yeah. I mean, and to jump around, like the the I I don't remember when Marvel first introduced Murder World or Arcade, but you know,
I thought we
half
looked that up last time and it was similar.
might have been. Because I don't have any, I think it's very clear that there were ideas floating around that, you know, Man Thing and Swamp Thing were real close to each other. I would not put it past anybody to be like, they're doing some sort of swamp monster. Oh, let's do a swamp monster. Oh, let's do a killer, amusement park. Um, But yeah, but to what Sean was talking about, like Forever People has that same thing. There's the big uh he has the splash page, two-page
Murder
spread.
World first appeared in 77.
Ah, they stole it. It's Happy Land. Um uh but this Forever People, we've got a splash page, a double page splash, then 2 pages after that, another splash page with the title and the credits and everything. So um yeah, I think it's very much what Sean is talking about. It's the teaser and then we're into the episode.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, look, and the one thing I will say about this Forever People, man, like in a lot of ways, this thing is horrifying. Like this is this this book, like the imagery is really disturbing at times.
Yeah.
Like that first splash page.
The Kingdom of the Damned.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
just like, wow, you know. And and it's so clearly modeled on Disneyland, you know.
Yeah.
And you got to wonder, did Jack hate Walt that much? Um,
I mean,
but yeah, I mean, like in the way they uh this whole thing where Desaad's trying to kill the mother box, that's just really intense.
Yeah.
And I love, I love how Darkseid is just like, call me when you have something. Like, I don't care about just torturing people.
Right. Also, there's something about Darkseid just walking around the park
Yeah,
that there's his physicality. It it just kind of cracks me up.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I like it. And when he's talking to Grandpa, uh, which there is a very kind of, I don't know, deep moment, but and still the cosmic joke escapes him. For how can he cope with me? By shunning me, his other face.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so he's a shadow of humanity, right?
Well, I mean, I do think that this is part, this is part of the concept. And I do think it's really interesting is that, they're the new gods, right? And that gods, by their very nature, are really when you deal with a pantheon, right? If you're not if you're a monotheist system, right? Each god is a facet of humanity, right? And like, of course, Darkseid is the other face, right?
Right.
Every one of us have a high father and have a dark side within us, right? We have a Zeus and we have a Hades. We have it's like, and I do think, there's a lot of people who say that Lucas stole all of this stuff from Jack, and I'm like, okay, all right, but it's also just so,
Those people haven't read Joseph Campbell
yeah. I mean, like that's what it
or
is,
watched Kurosawa or
right? Well, and the thing is like the one thing that I can really say about Jack Kirby is that he clearly read a lot of stuff, and because like when he did the Eternals, it was all the hot rods of the god stuff, and this is obviously somebody who's read Joseph Campbell. It's
right.
just so clear, and it's so um it's it's messy, right? um but
That
I
could be
think
the sleep deprivation.
could be. I mean, that is 100% true. Like,
Yeah.
he's up all night drawing in the dungeon. Although at this
Right.
point they're in Los Angeles, so uh he's actually working on the main floor. But uh it's you have somebody who has ideas, lots of ideas, and they're ideas that are emblematic, and they're very, very um prime, right? But then you also have somebody that is just erupting with energy, and I don't think he wants to slow down. He
Right.
wants to get to the next thing. And what becomes a little frustrating as a reader, and I think is part of what, I swear to God, we're going to do an episode of this thing where I don't talk about Stan. But I think it's what Stan was really good at with him was saying, no, we need to slow down and we need to explore this idea, right? Um, and not just go on to the next thing. Or he would do that through his dialogue and captions, right? Um, but like, and what Sean just pointed out, like it is an amazing and primal moment. I think that whole scene where he goes out into the park and he talks to that old man and his granddaughter is it's the sort of thing that not a lot of people working in comics at that time would have done, right? To bring a character that is that unambiguously evil and huge and powerful and just has a presence. Like the character has a presence. You can't deny it, right? And
Yeah.
just say, let's put him just with normal people and what happens. Because like
I mean,
and like his underlings, I don't think you could ever see any of his underlings doing this. Like Desaad wouldn't have done that.
right.
It's fascinating. I think, you know, that's part of me, you know, I suggested this. I suggested this whole process that we're going through right now for these kind of moments because like I said, when I read it before, I tried to go through it really fast and it blew my mind and burned out things. But like when you go through slowly and you see what's going on in each issue concurrently, like it's fascinating. And yeah, but yeah, I think that, and these death traps, they're not even death traps, they're just torture devices that Desaad puts these kids into. I'm going to call the forever people the kids because I like that. Um, you know, and I think that there's certain elements of society that Jack is seeing here, like Beautiful Dreamer being behind that glass wall, and it's like you can win $1,000 if you say the right thing to wake her up. And it's like, wow, that is actually saying something about women in society that is really fascinating. Like, if you're the one that can say the right thing, then you'll win, right? And she's just laying there helpless, right? And I think that is fascinating in an exploitation sort of view. And then like the most horrifying thing to me is what they do to Seraphin, where
Right.
he's got to, making him responsible for somebody else's life and you know, and what's fascinating is when you take that cowboy hat off of him, the way Jack draws him, he looks like a child, right? And it's like, man, it's incredible.
Yeah. But back to Beautiful Dreamer, the thing about her predicament, it looks like she sees monsters. So it looks like the machine is working two ways.
Yeah, yeah,
The illusion is working both ways, which doesn't seem to be happening in the other
right,
instances. Um, so that she's terrified. I was wondering if is this a way to solicit the anti-life equation? If is that the right word? What's the right
right,
word to wake her up?
right. Well, and then, then we get to the last page and uh well, you know what? And here's the other thing. This is the first issue of this book where we don't see the Infinity Man.
Mhm.
They don't do their Captain Planet stuff.
Because they're separated, I guess.
They're separated and they don't have the mother box because it's gone off and it's talking to Sunny Sumo, which is it's product of its time.
Yeah.
Although I remember that character is pretty awesome. Uh, but yeah, no, 100% the best issue of Forever People so far.
Yeah.
Um, and I honestly, I think that part of the reason that it is because of getting rid of the Infinity Man gimmick. right? Because I think that is the least interesting part of it, right? I would rather see these kids deal with these issues on their own, rather than
Right.
talking about Deus Ex Machina, like, come on, kids, let's make the Voltron robot.
And interesting again to go back to Beautiful Dreamer that the illusion makes her a blonde when she's Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of statements uh, in that predicament.
Yes. Well, I mean, and I think it's also like, I mean, we talk about, the bear, you know, uh, the thing that was on, it was an online thing for a while, like if women asking,
Oh,
would
women
you,
choose the bear, yeah.
yeah, would you choose if you're walking alone in the woods, would you rather come across a bear or a man? And many of them choose a bear. But I mean, I think also that goes into what we see there, where she sees the monsters outside. Everybody wants something. Everybody wants to consume her, right? And I think that's awesome. I mean, like it's not you the storytelling element is awesome. Not that people want to consume it. Uh uh let's not take that out of context, internet. Um uh and I think that, and there's this thing about Jack, is that he clearly had very strong views about, I'm not even going to say that I think he was a progressive minded person, but I think he had very strong views about fairness, right? And I think that is inherent in his work. And I think it comes across in his work in almost uh almost subtextual ways, like I would argue that all of this stuff that we're seeing in this moment, in this scene with Beautiful Dreamer, if you ask Jack about it, he'd probably be like, I just thought it'd be good to draw some monsters there or something, and it's like the deeper meaning of it would not even have been something that he was consciously thinking about, but that is still there because of his inherent mindset. Am I talking on my ass? I usually am. Sorry.
No,
I should let
it makes sense to me.
I need to let somebody else talk. I talk way too much in this thing.
But that means I have to have words.
Use your words.
Which words?
Ted, you can't set up a joke like that. You can't set up for me to revisit the joke. You can't. You can't. See, I am the living embodiment of what you said. The words don't matter. They just keep.
I think the words do matter.
I know you do, Tad.
Just not always with Kirby.
I tease because I love.
Yeah, just not always with Kirby. Sometimes Kirby's words are,
Sometimes
though,
I think that a lot of times he's just putting in stuff
right.
that, yeah. Like, quite honestly, like this whole Beautiful Dreamer sequence, like if it was just you could remove a lot of it. You could take out a lot of the dialogue.
I wonder if there was ever a moment. I mean, because I have a feeling that he worked Marvel style even when he was going solo, where he drew it all and then filled in all of the dialogue and any of the exposition.
I think it's not even that. I think that he was writing in dialogue as he drew.
That's possible too.
Because
So I wonder if there was ever a moment where he was like, God damn it, Stan's right. This is kind of hard. and then completely put that out of his head because like to admit that out loud to anybody else
Well, I mean, I
was not
think,
something he would ever do.
yeah, no, I think that at that point he definitely couldn't do that. But I also
Right.
think, but I mean, and I still maintain this. I still maintain this that a lot of this reads like somebody trying to write like Stan, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the hip
Mhm.
catchy dialogue, the self-promotional stuff,
Yeah.
you know. Kirby says,
I mean,
"Don't
and
ask, just buy it," that kind of stuff,
and that's actually one of the things that makes me laugh the most is that oftentimes I feel like the parts of Stan that he copied the most are the parts of Stan that I like the least. It's like, dude, you're not even taking the right parts.
Right. It's, I
Um,
I mean, okay. We've talked just to keep us moving through the books. So now we've gotten to New Gods, which I do think has one of the greatest Dark Side splash pages of all time, which would be page 10. The lurking dark side.
Yes. Great page. I'm turning to it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, and here again, it's splash page, double page spread, 4 panel page, splash page. Like he's certainly got a formula now.
yeah.
Right. And
Um,
that is Darkseid's only appearance in the book.
yes. Well, I mean, if you're only going to have him in one page,
Right.
you might as well make it a splash page, and you might as well make it that good.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
uh,
I just noticed something like with both Darkseid and Orion and um Mr. Miracle, uh even in making these great character designs, he set it up so he didn't have to draw faces.
oh yeah, sure.
And like even to not only not draw faces, but like I mean, obviously he could draw faces because
Yeah.
like this
I
particular dark side has some serious facial detail going on. Um, but
uh like I think that,
but he made them all that similar oval shaped. Mr. Miracle was a full oval. The other ones are the domed helmets, like
yeah, yeah.
couple of
Now,
defining details.
I think that there's so much about Kirby that you can say he didn't do that because he couldn't do that. He did
Right.
that because he needed to get out what
But
88
all
88 pages of artwork in a month,
right. But also I want to give him a mad props for like thinking about it in the character design stage.
Oh yeah.
He didn't get sloppy. He designed characters that he could then run quickly with.
Mm-hmm.
Though as I turned the page to page 11, uh
I also
I
to
he
that
he kind of misplaced the head on one of the panels. The close up on the guy while he's talking about scaring John Wayne makes him look like a hunchback.
Right.
well, he's old, Tad. He's old.
Well,
He's
yeah,
kind of
but
like
he's not a hunchback in the two previous pages.
um well, he is sitting
Or
down. Maybe
two previous panels.
that's from the perspective of the PI guy looking down at him as he's sitting in a chair and he's looking up like this. See, send me my no prize. No, um,
I think you're pushing it. It almost looks like he drew the chair behind him, and this is where I'll give a possibility. It could be Coletta and the colorist.
oh, wait, you're saying You're saying that Vinnie Coletta may have removed some things from the art
No.
when he was
I don't
inking?
think he
No, no, no,
removed
no, no.
anything. I think he
But
accidentally added things.
well, I would say
What
I
are we
think
talking about? Where? What?
page 11,
Page 11.
second row right side. Um,
Oh,
but
that's
yeah,
okay. That's what I thought, but I
Yeah.
that's I think that like it's 100% possible that Jack may have drawn a chair behind him. So it was like
Right.
what I'm saying, where he's supposed to be
Right.
sitting in the
oh,
chair, and that Vinny
Right.
was like, oh, we don't need that.
Well, he is sitting in the chair in the other two
Yeah.
panels.
right.
So the more I look at it, the more I realize that probably what happened was Jack drew a chair and it got turned into the guy's suit.
Right. Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you know what? It almost does look like that. It looks like
Yeah.
because there's like a line.
Yep. The closer I look, the more I see it.
Anyway, I mean, there is another weird art moment in here that I almost feel like because you when we're reading Jimmy Olsen, like at this point, like it's just obvious none of those Superman heads were drawn by Kirby, right? Or the Jimmy Olsen, the editorial was just
Apparently, that also happened to Alex Toth with Super Friends.
Mhm.
Kurt Swan did the Superman head.
Page 18. Wait, see, is that 18?
It's a
Yeah,
four
page
panel with the fishing rod.
Yeah, with the girl on the upper right, the 4 panel, not the fishing rod. The that face does not look like a Kirby face to me.
So page 17.
God, I'm
Is
not
it a
wearing my
one
glasses.
panel across the top?
No, it's 4 panels. Here, hold on.
Oh,
16, page
16.
16.
16.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I wasn't wearing my reading glasses. So,
Uh,
I mean, I can sort of
where
see
she's
it.
driving
Yeah,
over the steering wheel when she's touching the
touching
Yeah.
the
gas.
magic mother
Yeah.
box stuff.
Right. While opening the
It
door.
when I was reading it, I was
And
like, well,
then she's on the other side of the car.
She's getting out the passenger side.
yeah, well, the guys when she gassed all those guys, they fell against the driver's side doors, so she had to get out. Like, send me my note,
Well,
Price.
except that if you look carefully, the guy is on the driver's side and somehow on the passenger side in the last panel.
The logic, don't
I think
know.
that face that's a to me that's a romance book face.
Yeah, but like even when I look,
It reminded me of some of his Sue Storms, though.
I I don't know. Like, look, one thing that people have always said is that Jack always had a hard time drawing beautiful women, right? Like, I don't know. That looks like maybe Vinny had gave her some eyelashes and stuff because it looks like it's the
That's
shape of a
fair.
Kirby face, but um
But not the
I
makeup of a Kirby face.
yeah, and like actually on page 17, the page across the top, that face looks awfully odd.
Yes.
I mean,
But I'm still kind of
everything
I,
Kirby drew seemed chiseled out of stone, and
I,
that's not
I'm
a
I'm
criticism.
still caught on the. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. I know how it makes sense. That is the back of the car.
Uh,
Oh yeah, they are in the back of the car. They are behind the
That
car.
is the back of the car. She's
right.
looking out the back window. I'm just not aware of a car that has a grill quite like that on its trunk, which doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I don't know my cars very well.
Yeah. Don't ask these questions. Just flow. Flow. It's jazz. Flow. Flow.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Flow.
I try so hard to see.
Flow.
My plan with this month, Mark, had been to deliberately go through all of the comics without reading the words first,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't do it. I was drawn to the words. The problem with the way my brain works and comics and stuff like this is like I read the story and then start sucking in the art. So when I start paying attention to the art, it starts becoming disconnected from the story, and then I start going, wait a minute. Just weirdness. Just weirdness. For those of you listening at home, both Mark and Sean are looking at me with very bemused looks on their faces right now. They're like, this is Tad being Tad.
I'm sorry, I was trying to look something up.
I mean,
Yeah.
I am looking at the top of 17 where,
That too.
yeah, she's looking back.
That face looks
That
odd.
looks odd. That doesn't really fit with everything.
Yeah.
However, I am pleased to see at the bottom of page 21 that the Super Scroll has arrived with a new hat.
Yeah. Yeah, like I well, and look, Todd McFarlane's Spawn is coming in the next issue.
Right.
I mean, the coolest thing ever would be if we discovered that every once in a while Kirby messed up a page, but then just set it aside because he knew he could use it later, and that had originally been a super scroll.
Well, I
And
mean,
he came back and just filled in the other boxes for a different story.
famously, he also often would forget the details of costumes. So,
Right.
I don't know. Like this plan. I love this book. It trumpets the Orion gang,
Right.
and so yeah, I was like, oh, okay, so Orion is gonna go in and they're gonna all pretend to be gangsters. Like, oh, Orion ain't going in.
Yeah. Well, and don't forget, you need to think it as Orion.
Yeah, it's
Right.
That's
just like
very
Yeah,
important
it.
that you think it.
well, at some point, I have to wonder if like somebody at editorial or somewhere kept saying Orion or something,
Right.
and Jack was like, no, it's Orion, like Orion, and
It's not the WGN farm reporter.
it's fucking weird, man. I
It's not Orion Samuelson. It's Orion, the hunter.
I, while we're looking at, I like the top of 13, uh, when they're using the mother box. There's just a different art style there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That actually, I remember when I was reading through this, that almost looks like that almost looks like a Ditko
Yeah,
pen.
yeah. And obviously it's very much done with the inking.
Yeah.
Um,
You might have just stumbled on something. You know how to make more money. You gotta use your pseudonyms so you can work for multiple companies at once. What nobody ever had figured out, Mark, is Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, same guy.
That is absolutely not true, and you know it. Listen, Steve Ditko would have thought all of these people were communists.
Yes, he would have. What do you mean would have? He certainly thought all of these. He did. I don't
It's
know if he
like,
ever said it or wrote it, but we know he did.
you gods, that's just communist propaganda. Um, oh man. Sorry. That
Also, like it's the
I
Orion gang, but like as soon as he shows up as Orion, like, and they've been I guess he hasn't started telling people they have to think of him as Orion, but as soon as he shows up on the dock, like he gives away his cover.
of course.
Mhm.
Let me
Well, yeah,
just
that's when he's private detective Orion. So I mean, look,
I mean, that's probably
I
why he had to
mean,
become the
you know
Orion
what's
gang.
really funny about all this?
He blew
I'm
the
sorry.
private detective cover.
I actually love this how this issue starts too, with Metron and this Isak.
Yeah, very cool.
It's very cool, but it also has virtually nothing to do with anything that happens.
Right.
Wait a minute. You
But
mean
they're dinosaurs.
there's supposed to be I don't
Well, I mean,
understand.
and the Devil Dinosaur makes an appearance here, so I
Does
mean,
it? Did I miss the Devil Dinosaur?
it's first page of the book. There's two Devil
Oh, that's
Dinosaurs
right.
right there.
That I totally forgot. I had to go all the way back to the first splash page, and yes, two
Yes,
Devil Dinosaurs.
I mean, like it's sort of. I mean, it kind of makes me go, oh yeah, okay, he did want to do 2001. Um, because like, yeah, I find this all very funny, and it's like it is. Tell me, Metron, are we truly beyond time? Are we beyond death?
Um, I mean,
Well, and the thing about
I
it
don't
is
know
like
about beyond time, but it certainly feels beyond death.
my sensors
Well, we're
indicate there
not because one of us has fallen.
as one of us has fallen. Yeah. So but that does lead to this question. Is that the first time someone has ever died from New Genesis?
I mean, we've essentially read all of New Genesis, so yes.
Well, I
Oh no,
mean,
we have not met all of New Genesis.
No, no, no. I
Ooh.
said we've read
Oh
all of
yeah.
New Genesis to this
Well,
point,
yeah,
so
but I mean,
yes.
but like they're
There's no
uh,
off-screen deaths in this world.
I mean,
yes.
Highfather also calls Metron Cold One,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, and that's certainly part of that character.
Yeah,
I mean, um, you know, he's the Mr. Spock of New Genesis. You
yeah.
can tell by the eyebrows. Um, I well, and apparently it's a momentous enough occasion that Highfather put on a whole new outfit. Only time that happens, unless
And
Jet.
but it's a nice outfit.
Oh no, I mean I'm not saying like, and why should anybody have to wear the same thing? But I
It's
actually,
his Sunday best.
you know, the other thing I when you were talking about how he designed the characters to make them easier to draw, I also think about that whenever you see somebody in a hat, there's inevitably a panel where they're turned to where the hat obscures it's almost the entire face, so that all he has to draw is like a nose and a mouth. Um, Fascinating. Well, sorry, I just skipped forward to the next issue. So apparently, uh, Metron is gonna be going on a bit of a excursion now.
So
Interesting.
I
Foreshadowing.
want to know a little more about how the mother box returning Seagrin to the source is is the Black Rider summoned by Mother Box? to take him back, or is the Black Rider returning from
What but here's
Europe?
another question.
I don't understand.
Well, yeah, because here's the other thing, right? It was the last issue we got introduced to the Black Rider, which is basically the Angel of Death, correct?
Yes.
So if no one has ever died, what does the Black Rider do? We saw him chase down Light Ray for apparently no reason. If he caught him and he died, I mean, like, is this the Black Rider's like existence? Like he's constantly trying to chase down new gods. You can't catch him. I mean, although we see that he also you know brings humans to their final position, but I don't know. Like again, I think the details of this mythology are a work in progress.
Definitely feels that way. I mean, it with less whimsy and longer chapters, it reminds me a little bit of Airtight Garage, which
Hmm.
we know Mobius was just um improvising as he went.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so
I was just thinking at the bottom of page 7, where we see Orion, railing. That would have been a moment where, like, if I was Jack, I'd be like, oh, I should let his real face slip out for this moment. You know, I think that would be really cool.
yeah.
Yeah. The flames are not of earth. In a moment, they will vanish with Sigrun, who apparently makes golden wine coolers. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Seagram's.
Eager. Golden
Secrets,
cooler.
golden wine coolers. But
Yeah.
that panel with the Black Rider coming out of the flames is pretty freaking cool.
Yes. Very cool.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. I just I also love that Intergang, apparently you have to have your own gimmick in order to be a boss in Intergang, like I'm just a country fisherman. It's like I'm gonna shoot you in the back with this gun that I'm gonna hook with my fishing rod. Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah.
I also um there's a point where Orion refers to his astroglider, and my brain went to bad places. I was like, okay, all right. As I ride the astroglider. Oh, okay. Anyway,
Well,
well, I think
the dreaded
I think
Astro
we're
Force is
officially
coming.
I think we're
I think
officially off the rails now.
I think I think I think we've run aground. I mean, like
Yes.
I just to sum up my experience, this has actually been the most consistent month
Yeah.
that I think we've seen. I think that there is lots of fun stuff here. We didn't really even talk about the Deep Six, which we'll get more of, next month. But that's super cool. I love, it's almost Lovecraftian. This,
Right.
And that's super cool. I was occasionally when we've been doing this, I always get to like one issue, and it's usually like either for Forever People or Jimmy Olsen, where I kind of like, okay, this is kind of a slog, but I'll get through it. But this month I actually kind of happily zipped through all 4 issues, and I was really happy. Um, and I think the art, like it almost is, it's almost useless to say the art's great because the art is great. It's Jack Kirby, right? Um, but and yeah, earlier I said like I thought that things were kind of running in circles, as far as the overall mythology of the whole thing. But at the same time, as we were talking about the Forever People getting trapped in Happy Land and things. And I think there is stuff coming. I think that it could have been a little cleaner and more specific, uh, to use, theater terms. Specific. Uh, but no, it was a great month. Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
next month,
Nowhere to
we
go but down. No.
we skip an issue of Jimmy Olsen because it's not a Kirby. But then I have yeah, I'll ask that question off air. It's not interesting enough for on air. So yeah, next month, issues 5 and some more Jimmy Olsen.
So was that like
Uh,
a 2-month cliffhanger if you wanted to know what was going to happen with
yeah, it looks like they put a reprint issue in.
I mean,
So to get back to Rickles, you had to wait some time. So, all right, for Mark Pracht and Sean Harklerode, this has been the Fourth World Book Club on 22 panels, and we will see you after the next page.
Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22panelspodcast.